I think social media changed people in a way that's hard to explain, because nothing looked dramatic while it was happening. Nobody woke up one morning completely different. It was slower than that, more subtle. People just started checking their phones a little more often. Conversations got a little shorter. Silence became uncomfortable. Attention spans started feeling weaker. And somehow, over time, everybody became mentally exhausted without fully understanding why. And the strange part is this became normal so fast. I don't think people realize how unnatural it is to consume hundreds of opinions, faces, arguments, jokes, tragedies, advertisements, and emotional reactions before noon. The human brain probably wasn't built for this much input, but now it's just daily life. You wake up, check notifications, scroll for a few minutes, switch apps, watch random clips, respond to messages, hear bad news, see someone getting married, see someone crying online, see somebody richer than you, more attractive than you, happier than you all within like 15 minutes. Then people wonder why they feel emotionally off all the time. Modern life feels weird because the brain never fully lands anywhere anymore. Everything blends together. Nothing has weight for very long. A few years ago, if something embarrassing happened, maybe a small group of people knew about it. Now millions of strangers can watch someone have the worst moment of their life while eating dinner. People are becoming emotionally detached as a defense mechanism. Not because they're cold, just overloaded. There's only so much emotional energy a person can spend in one day, and social media quietly drains it little by little. You can even see it in the way people communicate now. Everybody sounds slightly filtered, slightly performative. Even normal conversations sometimes feel optimized for reactions instead of honesty. People don't just share experiences anymore. They present them. A dinner isn't just dinner. A vacation isn't just a vacation. Even feelings start turning into content eventually. And after a while, it becomes difficult to tell whether people are actually enjoying their lives or documenting them for proof. I think that changes people psychologically more than they realize. Because once your brain gets used to viewing life from the outside, you stop fully living inside it. You start observing yourself constantly. How you look, how you sound, how your life compares, how your experiences might appear to other people. And eventually, even your private moments stop feeling private mentally. There's this quiet pressure now to always appear interesting, attractive, funny, productive, emotionally aware, successful, informed, and socially active all at the same time, which is impossible. But people still try. And I think that's part of why so many people feel tired, even when they technically did nothing all day. Their brain never stopped performing. The internet made everybody visible, but visibility comes with pressure, especially because social media turned comparison into something unavoidable. Before all this, comparison was smaller, local. You compared yourself to classmates, co-workers, neighbors maybe. Now people compare their entire existence to millions of carefully edited lives every single day. And even when you logically know it's fake, your brain still reacts to it emotionally. That's the part people underestimate. You can know something is curated and still feel inferior to it. You can know somebody staged a photo and still feel like your own life looks dull in comparison. Because emotions react faster than logic does. Social media also changed people's relationship with boredom. And honestly, I think this is one of the biggest changes. People almost never sit in silence anymore. Every empty moment gets filled immediately. Waiting in line, elevators, car rides, walking, bathroom breaks. Every small pause in life gets interrupted by stimulation. And when the brain loses boredom completely, it starts struggling with deeper attention. That's why so many people say they can't focus anymore. Not because they became lazy. Their brain adapted to constant switching, short clips, fast rewards, endless novelty. The mind gets trained to expect stimulation every few seconds. Then normal life starts feeling slow by comparison. Even movies feel too long sometimes now. Even conversations, even relationships. And that changes people more than they think. Because meaningful things in life usually move slowly. Trust builds slowly. Real friendships grow slowly. Love develops slowly. Healing happens slowly. Confidence happens slowly. But social media conditions people to expect emotional results instantly. And when real life doesn't provide that same fast stimulation, People lose interest quickly. You can actually feel this shift in modern relationships. People seem simultaneously more connected and more disconnected than ever before. Everyone's reachable all the time, but genuine closeness feels rare. A lot of conversations now feel half-present. One person talking while the other checks notifications. People hanging out together while mentally existing somewhere else entirely. Sometimes it feels like nobody is fully where they are anymore. Even attention started becoming fragmented socially. And I think loneliness became stranger because of that. In older generations, loneliness often looked like physical isolation. Now somebody can talk to people all day and still feel emotionally disconnected, because interaction and connection are not the same thing. A person can receive hundreds of messages and still feel unseen, and social media kind of blurs that line constantly. It gives people the feeling of social activity without always giving emotional fulfillment, which creates this weird empty feeling afterward, like consuming snacks instead of an actual meal. Something happened, technically, but the deeper need was never really satisfied. I also think people became more anxious about identity, because online, identity became something public and constantly updated. People build versions of themselves now, carefully selected versions, and maintaining that version quietly becomes stressful, especially because the internet rewards certainty. Confidence gets rewarded, strong opinions get rewarded, quick reactions get rewarded. But real people are usually more complicated than that. Most people are uncertain about a lot of things. Most people contradict themselves sometimes. Most people are still figuring themselves out. But social media doesn't leave much room for slow personal growth. Everything becomes immediate, permanent, archived, and I think that makes people more afraid of being imperfect publicly. Even humor changed. You can see it. A lot of people joke constantly now, even when talking about serious emotions, almost like irony became emotional armor. And honestly, it makes sense. Being sincere online can feel risky, so people hide behind humor, memes, detachment, layers of self-awareness. Nothing feels fully genuine anymore because everyone's afraid of looking naive. And eventually, people get so used to distancing themselves emotionally that they stop understanding what they actually feel underneath the performance. There's also this strange feeling now where people experience moments while already imagining how they'll describe them later online. A concert becomes a clip before it becomes a memory. A meal becomes a photo before it becomes taste. Even sunsets sometimes get interrupted by the instinct to record them. And maybe that sounds small, but when repeated every day for years, it changes the relationship people have with reality itself. Moments stop feeling complete on their own. Everything starts needing confirmation from other people. Likes, replies, views, some kind of acknowledgement that the experience mattered. That's probably why silence online can feel weirdly personal now. People post something and keep checking who saw it, who ignored it, who reacted, who didn't. Tiny digital interactions started affecting emotions in ways people barely talk about honestly. And maybe that's part of why everyone feels slightly more sensitive now, even if they pretend not to. That's probably why so many people describe themselves as numb now. Not deeply sad, not deeply happy, just mentally flattened. Too much information, too much stimulation, too many emotions passing through the brain too quickly to process properly. And social media never really stops. There's no natural ending point, no moment where the world goes quiet. The feed keeps refreshing forever, which means the brain never fully feels finished either. I think people miss that. Human beings used to have clearer emotional boundaries. A bad day ended, work ended, school ended, news ended. Now everything follows you into bed, into the bathroom, into vacations, into relationships, into every quiet moment that used to belong only to your own thoughts. And because of that, people barely spend time alone with themselves anymore. Not truly alone. There's almost always noise nearby. Music, videos, scrolling, notifications, background stimulation. And maybe that's part of why so many people feel disconnected from themselves lately. Because self-awareness usually requires silence, and silence became rare. The weirdest part is how quickly everybody adapted to this. A generation grew up thinking this level of stimulation was normal human life. Checking your phone 100 times a day became normal. Feeling mentally scattered became normal. Being unable to focus became normal. Feeling slightly anxious all the time became normal. Even exhaustion started sounding casual. People say they're burned out the same way they talk about the weather now. And maybe that's what social media changed the most. Not just attention spans, not just communication, but people's baseline emotional state. Everyone seems a little more restless now, a little less present, a little more mentally crowded, like the mind never fully gets to sit still anymore. And after enough years, people stop noticing it completely. Because when something changes slowly, it doesn't feel like change while it's happening. It just starts feeling like personality. Like this is simply who people are now. Always distracted, always consuming, always half thinking about something else. And maybe that's why so many people feel tired without understanding what exactly is draining them. Nothing dramatic happened. Nobody forced this lifestyle onto people overnight. The world just became louder little by little, faster little by little, more stimulating little by little, and people adjusted to it little by little too, until eventually, being mentally overwhelmed stopped feeling unusual. It just became part of everyday life. And that's the part people rarely notice anymore.